Welcome back to Better Living. I'm here with Mary from Smith Bonds and Surety. I said before, and Surety. I said Surety and Surety. Smith Bonds and Surety. I only said Smith Bonds earlier because I kind of forgot that that's not all you guys do. So let's talk about how it works. The thing I think people know about is bail. They hear about somebody needing bail money. So tell me, let's talk about that specific part first.
Okay.
If you have an incident, or perhaps, let's say your spouse. I'm going to pick on my husband right now, okay? Because I can, and he's not here. So
okay.
Let's say that my husband gets himself into some trouble. There's some sort of altercation at a bar. Listen to me. I've got my husband in a bar fight.
You have a bar fight, okay.
Never been in one in his life, but he's about to be. So he finds himself in jail, and he calls me and says, I need you to come bail me out.
Okay.
What happens?
Well, the first thing that you would do is probably ask him, how much is the bond? Mm-hmm. Where do I need to go? Where are you? And then if the bond, let's utilize a $10,000 bond. If the bond, he hurt somebody bad.
Yes.
Okay, so the bond has been set by the judge for $10,000. And what you would do is decide, do I have $10,000 at home or in the bank that I can get him out? Then you would post that $10,000 yourself. You don't need a bondsman. But if you don't have the $10,000,
which is pretty typical that people don't have that laying around.
Correct.
Yes.
Then what you would do is give us a call, and we would post the $10,000 for you. In exchange for that, you will sign that as long as your husband shows up for all his court dates and he doesn't fail to appear, that you'll pay me $1,000, which is 10%, mm-hmm. and you get nothing back, but you don't have to worry about the $10,000. Should he fail to appear into court, we'll be notified by the court, and they'll tell us, gentleman failed to appear, you need to bring him in. They'll give us between 45 and 60 days in Ohio, mm-hmm. and then we go out and hunt him down. We'll call you. We'll say, you know where he's at? Can you bring him in? We'll go to court. We'll stay on the bond. Maybe something happened. He didn't know about the court date, whatever.
Right.
But if we can't get your cooperation and we can't find him immediately, we send out what we call people who go out and hunt them.
Kind of like Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Well, actually, yes. Sort of.
See, I know a little bit, just enough to be dangerous.
So they'll bring him back, and the taxpayer don't have to pay for anything. We bring him back to court. Our job is to present him in court to see that your husband will show up for all his court dates so that the victim and he can have their day in court.
And then I'm going to assume that should he not show up and you have to do that whole process, I'm going to foot the bill for that.
You will pay the 10%. We lose 10%. We have to pay the recovery team the 10%. And then if he fails to appear and for some reason we cannot locate him, he went to Cancun, mm-hmm. he's gone, we can't bring him back, we pay the $10,000 to the court. You have signed that you will pay us back that $10,000.
All right, so that makes sense to me. What are other cases or issues, situations where I would need a bondsman?
Well, it depends. It's really up to a judge to decide whether bail is necessary. In the state of Ohio, all persons shall be bailable by sufficient surety. Mm-hmm. So the judge looks at the case, decides, have they ever failed to appear before? Do they have a long record? That type of thing, and then he determines the bail. So it depends. From traffic tickets, bond can be set for numerous traffic tickets that you don't show up for. All the way to burglary and some higher felony offenses. But what we do is we tell the court we're ensuring, as an insurance company agency, that we will make sure they show up or we will pay the penalty. And the nice thing about that, no taxpayer dollar gets involved in that type of thing. It's a private bail. It's part of the court system, but it's private.
Now, you mentioned to me that there are also situations, guardianship?
Yes.
How would that work?
Okay, so in the probate court, your mother or father die, and there are more than one heir to the estate, and the judge says there's no will, and there's a lot of people who have that. And what will happen is the judge will say, I need you to serve as executor with bond.
I see.
And so we post those bonds for you. We look at your finances, make sure you're not going to take the money and run and leave the other heirs out. we post those probate bonds. We also do guardianship bonds. As you know, most people are, the baby boomers are
Right.
living longer, and a lot of them can't take care of themselves, so somebody has to take care of their estate, their money, get everything together, and so we bond those people too. So any court-ordered bond is what we do at Smith Bonds.
So somebody coming to see you or calling you does not necessarily mean that they've done anything wrong. I mean, there are lots of instances where I just need your services to help me in a legal matter.
Correct.
That's good to know, because seriously, all I would have thought of is somebody's in trouble, we got to call Smith Bonds.
Right, and the issue is a lot of people don't look at this as an expense that they save for. Your your TV's going to
sure.
break down, you start saving for a new TV. But bail, you don't save for
Right.
that. And probate is a little more different because you might know that something may happen, but a lot of people don't realize I have to serve with a bond.
Right.
So we take care of all court-ordered bonds at Smith Bonds and Surety. We've been doing it for 27 years. So.
Where should somebody, if somebody needs you, they can call or they can just stop by?
Either way, although we have 24-hour service, our office is not actually open, but
Sure.
we have night bondsmen who will take the phone call. But we have an office right across from the main library.
All right.
And downtown, and we actually have 50 agents in 2 states, and we're going to open up in Pennsylvania here real soon. So.
That is impressive.
Yeah.
Well, if you find yourself in the need for a bondsman, whether it's because your husband got himself in trouble too, or if it's because you need that guardianship or probate bond, just give Smith Bonds and Surety a call today or stop by across from the main library. We'll be right back on Better Living.